All right. Shabbat shalom again, everybody. Brother Quab, get ready to drop a decent little lesson for y'all, so pay attention, get your notepads and pencils together, open up your scriptures. What we going into? Enoch 2? Okay, if y'all got y'all book of Enoch, whip that out a little bit. We're going to test that one time and then off into the regular scriptures. So the title of this lesson will be what? Chariots, clouds, so on and so forth. We're going to give you a bit of understanding of deeper aspects.
Anybody need Enoch?
Do your thing.
Shabbat shalom, my people. Shally. All right. Well, you know, most of the people that don't believe in Hamashiach, because the things that's written in the quote-unquote New Testament of him coming down in the clouds and all of this type of stuff, they say that's like man-made mysticism and all of this type of stuff, but it's showing that they don't have no understanding of the Old Testament, because the same type of language, the same type of thing popped off all the way through the Old Testament, all through it, where the clouds did this, that, and the third. But I can definitely promise y'all, you're going to look at the rainbow today in a completely different light than you've seen it before, because it's real key. So when it rains, what usually pops off after the rain? There's this bow. And that bow comes from what? Anybody? That when you see the rainbow, what's that a sign for? The promise of... Absolutely. Okay? So, but a lot of this stuff is like kind of hidden in plain sight. So we're going to go in deep and find out what a lot of this stuff means. So let's get on Daniel 2 and 22.
Hey, Brother Kadesh, if you can, man, bring the camera a little bit closer, man. Because we're going to have that, that video will have all that background music, that madness. No. It's a sad day, man. Israel over there lost. Lost is all outdoors. Pork ribs probably over there cooking and everything. Sad. That a view? All right.
Daniel 2 and 22.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 22. He reveals the deep and secret things.
He does what?
He reveals the deep and secret things.
So to get these quote-unquote deep and secret things, you got to actually go in and search and desire to find these things, because it's there. Read.
He knows what is in the darkness.
He knows what is in the darkness. We don't get even the meaning when he says, and thick darkness, like when they was in Exodus, he said, thick darkness. I always was wondering, like, thick darkness, like, that exactly like you can touch. It's so dark, and it's thick. That's deep to me. Read.
And the light dwells with him.
And the light dwells with him. Remember, back to Genesis 1, it was darkness at first, and he said, let there be light. All right, let's get Colossians 1:26.
The epistle of the Colossians, chapter 1 and verse 26. Even the mystery which has been hid from ages.
Even the what?
Even the mystery which has been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints.
So a lot of these deep things that a lot of us been searching for, trying to find, we couldn't get them a long time ago, but he told Daniel, seal up the book until the end. And a lot of these things will start being when we actually can find out what it's actually talking about. And not through some of these real super shiny videos that these people putting out. That's straight deception. You know what I'm saying? Jap is putting them boys out here and deceiving you with it. All right, let's get Amos 3 and 7. Amos 3 and 7.
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 7. Surely HWHY will do nothing, but he reveals his secret.
He does what?
He reveals his secret.
He reveals his secrets, right?
Unto his servants, the prophets.
Unto his servants, the prophets. I wouldn't dare say I'm a prophet, but it's a lot of this stuff that I'm getting understanding on. Read that again.
Surely the Most High will do nothing, but he reveals his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
So he revealeth his secrets to his prophets. So a lot of people always worry, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? Well, but he don't never just do something and just kill you unexpectedly. You always got a warning before these things take place. But our people don't really study the Old Testament or precept upon precept to actually find out. That's why they're in darkness and afraid. You know what I mean? All right, let's get remember, this is about the clouds or the chariots. So let's get Matthew 24 and 30. So when it's a storm coming and there's clouds and stuff, right? And it's thundering and lightning and all of this stuff, most people be afraid of that stuff, right? Oh my goodness, I gotta get in the house. Hurry up, shut the windows and move it and stuff, right? But exactly, turn that TV off. The lightning gonna strike you. All of this kind of stuff, to be afraid. You know what I'm saying? But after the rain, something normally happens, right? That bow come out, and everybody be outside looking at it in amazement. But that boy Lucy, they made the rainbow into a mockery, right? So now if somebody see you with quote-unquote rainbow colors on, they looking at you like, this boy is sweet, this boy is a bag of Skittles. But that was all on purpose. Right. Go ahead, read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man.
This shall be the sign of the Son of Man. Go ahead.
In Shamaim.
And where?
In Shamaim.
Coming in what? Read.
Then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of Shamaim.
Coming in the what?
In the clouds of Shamaim.
So he's coming in the clouds of Shamaim. Now they read all of this stuff over here and say, see man, that's just fairy tale stuff. That's not in the Old Testament, but it just show you they ain't studied up at all. Because it's all through. Let's get Mark 13 and 26. Marcos.
The book of Mark, chapter 13 and verse 26. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power.
With great power and what?
And esteem.
Great power and esteem. So remember the Most High says, I will not share my quote-unquote glory with another one. So we're going to find out who is his glory and where it's at. All right? Let's get Genesis 49 and 10.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Yahudah.
So the scepter shall not depart from Yahudah. Read.
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come.
Until who?
Until Shiloh come.
Until Shiloh come. This is talking about a Mashiach. Read.
And unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
So unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Now we have a short-term thing with prophecy, and we have a long-term thing with prophecy. So we're going to see a bit of this through this lesson. Let's get on Matthew 26 and 64.
Matit Yahu, chapter 26 and verse 64. Yahusha said to him, you have said, nevertheless I say to you, hereafter you shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of Shamaim.
Doing what?
Coming in the clouds of Shamaim.
Okay, coming in the clouds of the Shamaim. Read the next verse.
Then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, he has spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witnesses?
So he think that this is blasphemy, that he said he coming in the clouds and going to sit on the right hand of power. I think that's actually blasphemy. Wow. Let's get Deuteronomy 4. It's going to all start to connect in a minute. 4 and 9.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 9. Only take heed to yourself and keep your soul diligently, lest you forget the things which your eyes have seen, and lest they depart from your heart all the days of your life.
So he's saying, don't forget the things that your eyes have seen. So we're going to go back and see what it is that he's talking about, that your eyes have seen. Finish that out.
Teach them your sons and your sons' sons.
So teach them your sons and your sons' sons. Get Exodus 19 and 14.
The book of Exodus, chapter 19 and verse 14. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes.
So this is the first gathering of the people right here that it was talking about in Genesis 49. This is like the first gathering. Read.
And he said to the people, be ready against the third day.
Be ready against the third day. What day did he rise?
The third day.
So this is basically showing you somewhat of a picture of something in the future. So be ready against the third day. Read.
Come not at your wives.
Do what?
Come not at your wives.
Wait a minute. You can do this. Is the Sabbath is long. No, another story. Read.
And it came to pass on the third day in the morning.
Go ahead.
That there were thunders.
There was what?
Thunders.
There was thunders. Normally when it's thundering, what's in the sky accompanying it? Clouds, right? Read.
And lightnings. And a thick cloud upon the mount.
And a thick cloud upon the mount. Read.
And the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud.
And the voice of the trumpet exceeding means this was louder than loud. Beyond it. Read.
So that all the people that was in the camp trembled.
And all of the people trembled. This means they were scared. Just like when them storms come. You're afraid. You get in the house and seek something. Because he told you the day of Yahuwah comes as a dark day. A thick clouds and darkness. It's not going to be pretty. Just like they were scared right there. And this wasn't even a judgment. Let's get Joel 2. So remember it says that the trumpet shall blow and the people go, and they was trembling. Joel 2 and 1.
The book of Yoel, chapter 2 and verse 1. blow you the trumpet in Zion.
Blow you the trumpet in Zion. So your Ak Rome got a job when we get over there. That boy Kadesh got a great job to blow what?
Blow you the trumpet in Zion.
Blow you the shofar in Zion. Read.
And sound an alarm in my Kadesh mountain.
Same thing we was just reading about. Read.
Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble.
What?
Let all the inhabitants of the land
So
tremble.
let the people tremble, because it's going to be a fearful thing. Read.
For the day of Yahuwah comes, for it's near at hand.
Read on.
A day of
A
darkness.
day of darkness. That's the same language throughout. A day of darkness. Read.
And of gloominess. A day of clouds.
Day of clouds. Read.
And a thick darkness.
Thick darkness. Read.
As the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and strong. There has not been ever the like. Neither shall be any more after it. Even to the years of many generations.
To the years of many generations. All right, let's get Ezekiel 38 and 15. Let's see what Japheth seed is trying to do. You know they always got to try to mimic, right? Ezekiel 38:15.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 38 and verse 15. And you shall come from your place out of the north parts, you and many people with you, all of them riding upon horses, a great company and a mighty army.
A great company and a mighty army. Read.
And you shall come up against my people of Israel.
How they going to do it?
As a cloud.
As a what?
As a cloud.
As a cloud. Read.
To cover the land. It shall be in the latter days.
What days?
It shall be in the latter
It's
days.
coming in the latter days. That's why he keep talking about a day of darkness, a day of gloominess, thick darkness and clouds and all of this stuff. This is symbolizing like a storm that's on the horizon is coming. You're going to be scared out your mind when these things take place. Did we finish that out? Yeah.
I will bring you against my land.
I will bring you against my land. He's letting you know that he's actually going to cause them to do what they're doing. All right? Let's get Zephaniah 1 and 15.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 1 and verse 15. That day is a day of wrath.
That day, what day is it talking about, Mark?
The last day when a Mashiach come and crack them clouds.
Read on.
That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick
A
darkness.
day of clouds and thick darkness. This keep saying this. Why is this written throughout? Because he wants you to actually get it. Read.
A day of the trumpet.
A day of what?
A day of the
A
trumpet.
day of trumpet. Read.
An alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men.
It's going to be so bad as he said you should walk in the noonday, grope at noonday. This type of thing. Read.
Because they have sinned against Yahuwah.
They have did what?
They have sinned against Yahuwah.
Read.
And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung.
And their flesh as dung. It's not going to be pretty. But if you actually trying to walk in that way, it's going to be something that's going to actually help to blot it out for you. Get Isaiah 44 and 22. Yeshayahu 44:22.
You see Yahuwah, chapter 44 and verse 22. I have blotted out as a thick cloud.
I have did what?
I have blotted out as a thick cloud.
I have blotted out as a thick cloud. Matter of fact, start at 21.
Verse 21. Remember, O Yaakov and Israel, for you are my servant, and I have formed you. You are my servant.
Talking about us, read.
O Israel, you shall not be forgotten of me.
Just a lot of us think like, man, he must have forgot. He didn't. Read.
I have blotted out as a thick cloud.
As a what?
As a thick cloud.
Read on.
Your transgression.
Your transgression. He blotted it out like a thick cloud. Read.
And as a cloud, your sins. Return to me, for I have redeemed you.
Read that part again.
Return to me, for I have redeemed you.
So right here he's letting us know that when this thick cloud is going to blot out your sins. So it must be something in this cloud. It must be something to these clouds. Because he keeps talking about the lightning, the darkness, the trumpet, all of these things. But he says that this cloud is going to blot out your sins. Let's get some understanding and get deeper. Let's get Revelations 10 and 1. Now remember what happens after the rain, right? It's a sign in the cloud. So we're going to give you some understanding on this. It's about to get a little deep. Revelations 10 and 1.
The book of Revelations, chapter 10 and verse 1. And I saw another mighty Malachim.
I saw what?
Another mighty Malachim.
Read.
Come down from Shamayim.
So whoever this is coming down from the Shamayim. Read.
Clothed with a cloud.
Clothed with what?
Clothed with a cloud.
So as then you know he's wearing a cloud. He's clothed with a cloud. Read.
And a rainbow was upon his head.
Wait a minute. What was on his head?
A rainbow was upon his head.
So he's clothed with a cloud and he has a rainbow on his head. In the world, if the world would see this guy, they would think he was soft, right?
They would think he was a homo. Unfortunately.
They playing games with this. That whole rainbow thing is much deeper than we thought, because nobody ever asked, why did they take the rainbow as their symbol? So it says he's clothed with a cloud. Clouds usually look soft and fluffy. And having on a rainbow. But I guarantee you this cloud right here ain't soft. And this rainbow ain't no Skittles. Read that from the top again, huh?
And I saw another mighty Malachim come down from Shamayim, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun.
And his face was as it were the sun. Read.
And his feet as pillars of fire.
So and his feet as the pillars of fire. So I want you to keep that in mind. Feet as pillars of fire. Rainbow on his head. Clothed in a cloud. Keep all of these things in your mind. Who do y'all think this is? Who is it? You better say an angel. Can you prove it? No. So this is a Mashiach. My accent is him, so we're gonna go with that. Let's get Genesis 48 and 15. Because through our precepts we get understanding. Now to see 48 and 15.
The book of Genesis, chapter 48 and verse 15. And he blessed Yosef and said, the Most High, before whom my fathers, Abraham, Yitzhak, did walk.
So who is this talking about right here? When it says the G word. And he increased Joseph and said, G word, read. Who is this talking about? Anybody? No takers? Read.
Elohim, which fed me all my life.
So he says, Elohim, which fed me all of my life. Read.
Unto this day, the Malachim, which redeemed me from all evil.
Wait a minute. This just said that the Elohim, and then right here it says the angel was the what?
The Malachim, which redeemed me from all evil.
All evil. So how in the world is a Malachim doing this? I thought only Yahuwah had the power to redeem and things of this nature. The people in the old, that only believe in the Old Testament, they must have never read this part. All right, read.
The Malachim, which redeemed me from all evil. Bless the lads, and let my name be named on them.
And let what?
And let my name be named on them.
So if you go through the studies, you'll find out it's actually two of them with the same name. But let's prove it. Let's get Exodus 23 and 20. Exodus 23 and 20.
The book of Shemot, chapter 23 and verse 20. Behold, I send a Malachim before you.
I said what?
I send a Malachim before you.
That's or an angel for the people that don't understand that. Read.
To keep you in the way.
To do what?
To keep you in the way.
To keep you in the way, meaning that walk, that straight and narrow path. This Malachim comes to do that, to keep you in the way on that narrow path. Read.
And to bring you into the place which I have prepared.
Read on.
Beware of him.
Do what?
Beware of him.
Be afraid of this one. Read.
And obey his voice.
Obey his voice. Read.
Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions.
Why won't he do it?
For my name is in him.
For the name is in him. So it's let you know that this Malachim has the name of the Father, and he has the power of the Father to actually do what? To forgive sins. So that cloud that's going to come over, it said it blotted out the sins of the people. So we're gonna get more understanding on these clouds. All right? Let's get Exodus 16 and 10. Shemot 16 and 10.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 10. And it came to pass, as Aharon spake to the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness.
They looked toward where?
The wilderness.
The desert. Read.
And behold, the glory of Yahuwah appeared in the cloud.
And the esteem of the Most High appeared in the cloud. Was it the Most High in the cloud or what? It was the glory of him in the cloud. You'll actually find out that his glory is separated from him. They're two different beings, but they're one and the same. Read that from the top again.
And it came to pass, as Aharon spake to the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the esteem of Yahuwah appeared in the cloud.
So you'll get when it says that he will not share his esteem with another. It's talking about his son. Let's get Isaiah 40 and 1.
Yeshayahu, chapter 40 and verse 1. Comfort you, my people.
What did he say? If I go, I will send what? I will send you a comforter. Read.
Saith the Most High, speak you comfortably to Jerusalem,
to the children of Israel. Read.
And cry to her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned.
Is what?
That her iniquity is pardoned.
Did he just say that this angel can blot out sin and pardon sin? But you gotta, don't provoke him, or he won't pardon your sin. Read.
For she has received of Yahuwah's hand double for all her sins.
Double for all her sins. Read on.
The voice of him that cries in the wilderness, prepare you the way of Yahuwah. Make straight in the desert a highway for our power. Every valley shall be exalted. Every mountain and hill shall be made low. And the crooked shall be made straight.
So who's going to show up? Read.
And the rough places plain. And the glory of Yahuwah shall be revealed.
Shall be what?
Shall be revealed.
So this same glory or esteem soon is going to be revealed to the people. Because before it's always was in a cloud. It was always veiled so the people couldn't see it. Only Moses actually, quote unquote, saw it. Read.
And all flesh shall see it together.
Separated.
And all flesh shall see it together.
So when you talking to the people that believe in them dudes like Ben Ami and who was some of them other guys? Yahweh, Ben Yahweh and all that, they can't get around this stuff because it says when he come and it's revealed, all flesh shall see it together. So I ask them all the time, when he came, I didn't see it. So I don't believe you. No, you believe it in fairy tales. But the book right here says that all flesh shall see it together. Like, well, I didn't see it, so I can't rock with dude. See, you believe in a sky god. Okay. Foolishness. Exactly. But let's see how he came his first time. Let's get Luke 2 and 7. Exactly. Lucas 2 and 7.
The book of Luke, chapter 2 and verse 7.
Now this is him in his physical form. Read.
And she brought forth her firstborn son.
Joseph's firstborn son.
And she brought forth her firstborn son.
Oh, I wonder why they don't say Joseph. Boy. That's another story. Go ahead, read.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes.
What type of clothes?
Swaddling clothes.
Anybody know what swaddling clothes is? Cloth? Okay. All right, read.
And laid him in a manger.
And laid him in a manger. Read.
Because there was no room for them in the inn.
Because there was no room for them in the inn. Read.
And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field.
And the shepherds were shoveling snow.
Shepherds abiding in the field.
That don't say nothing about it.
Not at all.
That wasn't December the 20th?
Never.
Go ahead.
Keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the Malachim of Yahuwah came upon them. And the esteem of Yahuwah shone round about them.
Read on.
And they were sore afraid. And the Malachim said to them, fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy.
I bring you good tidings. I bring you good news. Read.
Which shall be to all people.
So who?
All people.
Read on.
For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior.
Who?
A Savior.
Read on.
Which is a Mashiach, the Master.
Go ahead.
And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes.
This is a what?
A sign unto you.
This is a sign unto you. Read.
You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in the manger.
So this was the sign that the baby was going to be in swaddling clothes. So now we got to get something to give us understanding on this swaddling clothes. But we got to get it from the scripture. Let's get Job 38 and 9. So this teaching is talking about the clouds or the chariots of the Most High. Job 38 and 9.
The book of Job, chapter 38 and verse 9. When I made the cloud, the garment thereof.
When I did what?
When I made the cloud, the garment thereof.
We read something about that in Revelation. He said he was clothed with what? Clothed with a cloud. When I made the cloud, the garment thereof, read.
And thick darkness.
Thick what?
Thick darkness.
Thick darkness. Read.
A swaddling band for it.
Swaddling band for it. Something going on with this. So the Messiah was in. Exactly. So over in Revelations it said that he was clothed with the garment, with the cloud, and he had a rainbow upon his head. Then when he was born as a baby, they wrapped him in swaddling clothes. Right here it says, and when I made the cloud, the garment thereof, and thick darkness, a swaddling band for it. But we're going to get deeper. Let's go back to Revelations 10. All right, read. Start at verse 1 again.
Revelations 10:1. And I saw another mighty Malachim come down from Shamayim, clothed with the cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head.
A what was upon his head?
A rainbow was upon his head.
A rainbow was upon his head. Read.
And his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as the pillars of fire.
So at his feet as the pillars of fire. Let's get Ezekiel 1 and 28. And I need somebody to get the definition of the bow in Genesis. Yep, Ezekiel 1 and verse 28.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 28.
Start at 27. Okay.
Verse 27. And I saw as the color of amber, as the appearance of fire round about within it, from the appearance of his loins even upward.
So this is a man right here, read.
And from the appearance of his loins even downward, I saw as it were the appearance of fire. And it had brightness round about.
What was it around about it?
And it had brightness round about.
A rainbow is bright, right?
Read. As the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of Yahuwah.
Of who?
Of the glory of Yahuwah.
So this was the appearance of the likeness of the esteem or glory of Yahuwah. So when he comes, it's going to be bright, like a rainbow around him. But the world has taught us that the rainbow is something fruity, something that you don't want to mess with it, period. When you look at it, you'll be disdained of it like, oh my. Because that's why he says, you're going to have a choice. When these two kings are on the scene, you're going to have a choice. And they already are setting it up for you to look at him in a bad way. Read that from 28 again.
As the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of Yahuwah. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spoke.
So it's talking about the glory again, which Hamashiach is, quote unquote, the glory of the Most High. Somebody got that definition for me for that bow in Genesis. Matter of fact, everybody go to Genesis 9 and 12.
The book of Genesis chapter 9 and verse 12. And the Most High said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations.
Read on.
I do set my bow in the cloud.
I do set my bow in the cloud. My bow in the cloud. You got that beat? That bow? Yeah. We're going to just get one of these definitions, read.
Keshet, from 7185 in the original sense of bending a bow for shooting.
So we know it ain't talking about a bow and arrow, read.
Or the iris for hence figuratively strength, or the iris, arc, or arrow, bow.
It's got another word there. You got the brown jacket grid. One moment, my people. Yeah. Say that man. Yep. One moment. Y'all don't say the man at the end of it? A man? Let's see if mine is here. Y'all, they cheating y'all. Genesis 9:13, right? There you go, right there. H7185. The boys are trying to sabotage me. Yep, 7185. It's the strong definition. I'm gonna just let Travis read it from here. Cause they, yeah. All right.
It says, in the original sense of bending a bow for shooting, hence figuratively strength.
Strength, right? Because he's the hand of the Most High, read.
It says, archer, the arrow, the bow, a man.
A what?
A man.
So I set my man in the cloud. Let's go back to that verse. So I set my man in the cloud. Read.
Verse 13. I do set my bow in the cloud.
So this bow comes out to an archer, but it's actually talking about the rainbow. But figuratively, it's talking about I set my man in the cloud, because we just showed y'all over in Ezekiel 28, his appearance and his likeness was of the bow. Of the rainbow. And then the same thing, he was clothed with the cloud and the rainbow upon his head.
Read. And it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth.
It shall be between a token between me and the earth. So this was the prophecy of the Messiah all the way back there from the beginning. And most people have no idea that this was talking about him. So remember, and the shepherds was looking at the quote-unquote bow wrapped in the swaddling cloth. Let's go back to Revelations 10 again. Same verse.
Revelations chapter 10 and verse 1. And I saw another mighty Malachim come down from Shamaim, clothed with the cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun.
His face was what?
As it were the sun.
His face was as it were the sun. Now, But right here it says his face was as the face, it shined like the sun. We gotta get some pictures of what it's actually talking about. Where is it at?
Luke 9, and we'll pick it up at verse 29. Pick it up at verse 28. Luke 9 and verse 28. And it came to pass, about 8 days after these sayings, he took Kepha and Yahuchanan and HWHY and went up into a mountain to pray. And as he prayed, the fashion of his countenance was altered.
It was what?
The fashion of his countenance was altered.
Read on.
And his raiment was white and glistering.
It was what?
White and glistering.
Usually it's exceeding white. Read.
And behold, there talked with him 2 men, which was Moshe and Elijah,
Read.
who appeared in esteem, and spake of his decease, which he should accomplish at Yerushalayim. But Kepha and they that were with him were heavy with sleep. And when they awake, they saw his glory.
They saw what?
They saw his glory.
Who was his glory? The Most High. Hamashiach. Read.
And the 2 men that stood with him. And it came to pass, as they departed from him, Kepha said to Yahusha, Master, it is good for us to be here. And let us make 3 tabernacles, one for you, one for Moshe, and one for Elijah, not knowing what he said. While he While he thus spoke, there came a cloud and overshadowed them, and they feared as they entered into the cloud.
All right, entered into what?
The cloud.
All right, get that next verse. No, Matthew 17. Matthew 17, 1 and 2.
Matit Yahu chapter 17 and verse 1. And after 6 days, Yahusha takes Kepha, HWHY, and Yahuchanan his brother, and bring them up into a high mountain apart, and was transfigured.
And was what?
Transfigured before them.
Transfigured or changed before them. Read.
And his face did shine as the sun.
So his face shined as the sun. So if his face is like this, that's why you can't look at it. Because when you try to look directly at the sun, it'll blind you. Read.
And his raiment was white as the light.
And his raiment was white as the light. Now we got to go back and see some pictures of this from the Old Testament. Let's get Exodus 32 and 11.
The book of Exodus, chapter 32 and verse 11. And Moshe besought Yahuwah his power and said, Yahuwah, why does your wrath wax hot against this people, which you have brought forth out of the land of Egypt,
Read on.
with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from your fierce wrath and repent of this evil against your people.
Read on.
Remember Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yisrael, your servants, to whom you swear by your own self, and said to them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of Shamaim, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give to your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And Yahuwah repented of the evil which he thought to do to his people. And Moshe turned and went down from the mount, and the 2 tables of the testimony were in his hand. The tables were written on both of their sides. On the other side and on the other were they written. And the tables were the work of the Most High. And the writing was the writing of the Most High, graven upon the tables.
Read on.
And when Yahushua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said to Moshe, there is a noise of war in the camp. And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, Neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing do I hear. And it came to pass, as soon as he came near to the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing. And Moshe's anger waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hands, and brake them beneath the mount.
So right here, this is the first time Moses goes up and get the 10 commandments and come down and see the complete madness going on, and he broke the 10 commandments. So now he got to go up a second time. So basically it's about to be called Moses' second coming, in a sense, a picture of it. Let's go there. Let's get Exodus 34 and 30. Let's see how it happens on Moses' second coming down. Exodus 34 and 30.
The book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 30. And when Aharon and all the children of Israel saw Moshe, behold, the skin of his face shone.
The what?
The skin of his face shone.
The skin of Moses' face shone. That means it was shining. Read.
And they were afraid to come near him.
They was what?
They were afraid to come near him.
So now they're afraid to come near Moses because his face is shining. Read.
And Moshe called to them, and Aharon and all the rulers of the congregation returned to him. And Moshe talked with them. And afterward, all the children of Israel came near, and he gave them in commandment all that HWHY had spoken with him in Mount Sinai. Until Moshe had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face.
He did what?
He put a veil on his face.
So right now the Most High got a veil over our eyes so we can't see him right now. But when he removed the veil, it won't be Moses that you see. It will be the esteem of the Most High, which is a Mashiach. Read the next verse.
But when Moshe went in before HWHY to speak with him, he took the veil off.
He took the veil back off. Read.
Until he came out. And he came out and spake unto the children of Israel that which he was commanded.
Which he was what?
That he was commanded.
The Messiah says, I don't speak my own words. I only speak what the Father told me to say. Let's get Exodus 13 and 22.
The book of Exodus, chapter 13 and verse 22. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night.
So Mashiach was that again, bringing us up out of Egypt. That pillar and that cloud. Read that verse again.
Exodus 13 and 22. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day.
The pillar of the cloud by day. Remember Revelation 10, it says his feet like a pillar of fire. So it's him again in this same exact thing. Let's get Exodus 14 and 20.
The book of Exodus, chapter 14 and verse 20. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. And it was a cloud and darkness to them.
It was a cloud and darkness to them, read.
But it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all night.
So again, this is a Mashiach that's in this cloud doing all of these different functions of the Most High. Now let's tie it in and show you exactly who it is that came down in Exodus 10. Let's get Revelation 5. One second. Pick it up at 1.
The book of Revelation, chapter 5 and verse 1. And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong Malachim proclaiming with a loud voice.
That's the same thing we got in Revelation 10. Another mighty angel. This one says a strong one. Read.
Who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof? And no man in Sha'im, nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders says to me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Yahudah and the root of David.
Who is that? Go ahead.
Has prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
So Mashiach was the only one worthy to take this book and break these seals. Read.
And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of the Most High.
Which are what?
The 7 spirits of the Most High.
The 7 spirits of the Most High. Now remember, he says he is the esteem of the Father. So when you read, and it says he was clothed in a rainbow, in a cloud, and a rainbow upon his head. Now, let's show y'all the meaning of one of these stories in the Old Testament. Let's get on Genesis 37. So his father clothed him in the cloud and the rainbow. It's his only begotten son. I am well pleased with him. So let's get Genesis 37 and 3.
Genesis chapter 37 and verse 3.
Now this is Joseph. If you know the story of Joseph, Joseph was the youngest brother. His father loved him more than all the rest of the brothers. He made him a coat of many colors, right? So he made him a coat of many colors. But when the Mashiach came on the scene, his brothers didn't like him. They rejected him. So Joseph was playing exactly the same role. Read.
Genesis chapter 37 and verse 3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age.
Read on.
And he made him a coat of many colors.
A coat of what?
Many colors.
What is a rainbow?
Many colors.
Read on.
And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him.
They did what?
They hated him.
They hated him. That's why it says when he came to his own received him not. And that coat of many colors was symbolic of the Most High giving him that same honor and clothing him with the coat of many colors in his cloud. It's the same exact thing. There was a picture of it from the Old Testament. All right, let's get what's in these clouds. Let's get Psalms 104. Yep, Psalms 104. Verse 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 104 and verse 1. Bless ye Yahuwah, O my soul. O Yahuwah, my power. You are very great. You are clothed with honor and majesty.
Clothed with what?
With honor and majesty.
Go ahead.
Who covers yourself with light as with a garment.
Covered yourself as light with a garment. So in the beginning, Adam and Eve was covered with what? Some type of a light. Read.
Who stretch out the Shamaims like a curtain. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters. Who makes the clouds his chariot.
Who makes what?
Who makes the clouds his chariot.
Who makes the clouds his chariots. So we actually travel in the clouds as a chariot. Read.
Who walketh upon the wings of the wind.
Walketh upon the wings of the wind. Man, I can't wait to get some power like that.